What's up, YouTube gamers? Young Soul back with another video, and Sony has just announced that PS4 has sold 30.2 million PS4s. This is a huge deal. Let me tell you why it's a huge deal, and I know the haters and the Xbox fanboys are going to try to claim that sales don't matter, and that's their talking point, and they have to stick to it. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you why sales do matter. Rise of the Tomb Raider is a timed exclusive. Does anybody here think Microsoft went into the negotiations for Rise of the Tomb Raider looking for a timed exclusive? No. Let me give you the answer to that. No. Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, they don't go into these negotiations looking for timed exclusivity. They go in looking for 100% full exclusive rights. Okay? They don't go into it looking for, hey, let's just have it for a little while before our competitors get it. No, they want it completely to themselves. The reason why Rise of the Tomb Raider is a timed exclusive is because Square Enix said we can't ignore the amount of money we can make putting our game on your competitor's platform. Okay? And so they had, in order for it to remain a full exclusive, Microsoft would have had to give up a lot more money. That's not to say Microsoft couldn't afford to, but the Microsoft internal analysts pretty much told Phil Spencer and whoever was making these deals, Microsoft was never going to be able to sell enough units of Rise of the Tomb Raider, enough copies of that game to justify paying what Square Enix wanted. Okay? They were never going to be able to sell enough to warrant that price tag. That's why they ended up saying, okay, if we give you this amount, what can we get for it? Well, we'll give you a year exclusive for it. That's essentially what happened. And why did that negotiation go down that way? Because Sony, skillfully, as a business strategy, is putting out how much they're selling. That's why this 30.2 million number is being put out. That's why Sony keeps putting these numbers out. Is because it's a business strategy. It's a lot like why Walmart will tell people who make products, you better put your products in Walmart as well. You better not make them exclusive to Target. You better not make it exclusive to some other retailer, because look how much foot traffic we get in every month or every year. They tell you how much foot traffic they get into their stores every month or every year, because they want people who make products to say, listen, are you gonna ignore these millions, tens or hundreds of millions of people, in Walmart's case anyway, tens, hundreds of millions of people who walk into our store every year? You're gonna ignore that? No, of course you're not. So don't make it exclusive to Target or some other retailer. That's the same thing Sony's doing now. Sony's basically giving a shot around the world, saying to third-party developers and third-party publishers, don't make your games exclusive to Xbox. Look at how many units we've got, raring to go. Now, I'm not sure, I didn't read through the article, I'm not sure if this is shipped or sold, but regardless, they're basically giving an indication that the install gap is large enough to be noticed. The install gap is essentially telling these third-party developers and third-party publishers, look, if you're going to go exclusive to Xbox, you're going to need a lot more money from them. They're going to have to pull out, the big bucks. Now, can Microsoft afford it? Sure. But the problem that you saw with Rise of the Tomb Raider is that they're not willing to spend to get that exclusive. They could have got that exclusive, but it wasn't worth them getting. They weren't going to sell enough copies of the game. Their internal analysts knew that they weren't going to sell enough copies of the game in order to justify that larger price tag. So they got the exclusive rights for 1 year, and then PS4 is getting it, a year later. Now, Xbox fanboys can brag about how they got the game a year early, as I'm sure they have been and they will be. But the reason why it's not a full exclusive, Sony keep putting out their numbers, and Square Enix took notice of those numbers and said there's no way we can skip the PS4. It's Sony putting out their numbers that's preventing some of these games from becoming exclusive to Xbox. So when people say Sales don't matter as far as the games. Sure, sales don't matter as far as how well you like your game. But sales do matter as to what games get put on which consoles, or more importantly, what games get excluded from which consoles. There's a reason why Rise of the Tomb Raider is a full exclusive, while Street Fighter V is a full exclusive. Did I just say that right? There's a reason why Rise of the Tomb Raider is not a full exclusive and Street Fighter V is a full exclusive. You think Sony has more money than Microsoft? No. It wasn't the dollar amount. It was the look at the console, look at the install base. That has a direct correlation. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think in the comment section and I'll holler back. Peace.